Imagine a river so clear that boats appear to float in the air. A river where the sky paints itself upon the surface, blue melting into emerald, clouds gliding beneath your paddle. This is Umngot, also known as Dawki, the pride of Meghalaya. For generations, it has been celebrated as Asia's cleanest river, a place where fishermen once claimed you could count every pebble beneath your oar. And it's not just a local tale. Even the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, once spoke of Umngot in his Mann Ki Baat address, calling it a living symbol of community care and environmental pride. Every year, thousands of travelers journey to this corner of Meghalaya, drawn by a dream of transparency. Every year, over 75,000 visitors came to Dawki to ride boats that seemed to glide on glass and to witness a miracle born of harmony between people and nature. But the real guardians of this wonder were never tourists or officials. They were the Khasi and Jaintia communities, who cared for Umngot like family. No one needed a rule book. Respect was their law. They understood something modern life often forgets, that true guardianship begins at home. And that purity once lost can take centuries to restore. When progress turned the water brown, then came the promise of progress. The Shillong Tamabil road expansion, 71 kilometers of National Highway 40, funded by the Japan International Cooperation Agency JICA, executed by NHIDCL, better trade, faster travel, more tourism, a road to connect Shillong more efficiently to Bangladesh. But somewhere between plans and progress, something was forgotten. Hill cutting began. Soil and debris tumbled down slopes into the streams that fed the Umngot. Locals watched, helpless. In August 2025, the Green Tech Foundation of Meghalaya filed a memorandum warning of massive dumping into the Umngot River near Milium and Dawki. Residents say even NHIDCL officials watched. Trucks emptied soil straight into the waters. By the time the rains ended, the river had turned brown. A symbol of Meghalaya's pristine natural heritage, now muddy and lifeless. The day the river lost its clarity. October 2025, the dry season. A time when Umngot should shine like glass, but this year, it didn't. Tourists arrived and stared in disbelief. The river looked broken, a mirror shattered. Boatmen sat idle, homestays stood empty. A local woman whispered, "This river fed us, defined us, now it's just mud." For Meghalaya, this wasn't just pollution. It was the loss of identity, a wound to pride and livelihood alike. Social media filled with heartbreak. It's not just a river lost, it's Meghalaya's soul fading away. When the mountains fell, experts say the cause lies in reckless execution. Hill cutting without slope stabilization. No spoil banks to contain debris. Direct dumping into catchments. The pattern isn't new. In 2018, the National Green Tribunal fined NHIDCL rupees 2 crore for dumping muck into the Bhagirathi River in Uttarakhand. In 2024, hill cutting by NHIDCL in Mizoram triggered landslides that killed 2 and destroyed farmland. Yet, lessons remain unlearned. In Meghalaya, debris now chokes the rivers that once ran clear. The Meghalaya State Pollution Control Board has yet to act decisively. And SEIA's environmental clearance? Still unclear. The irony is painful. A project funded by an agency known for its environmental standards has become an emblem of what not to do, the turning tide. But all is not lost. Across Meghalaya, voices are rising. Environmental groups, students, and local leaders are demanding accountability and restoration. And among those voices came one that reached Delhi. In October 2025, Dr. Ricky A.J. Singkon, the Member of Parliament from Shillong, wrote an urgent letter to the Minister of Road Transport and Highways, Shri Nitin Gadkari, and the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Shri Bhupender Yadav, raising alarm over the environmental degradation of the Umngot River. He warned that the project had turned the river muddy and lifeless during a season when its waters should be crystal clear. Dr. Singkon's letter documented large-scale dumping of debris under NHIDCL supervision, lack of spoil bank management, and violations of environmental safeguards, echoing the same patterns that once led to NGT fines elsewhere. He called for immediate halting of hill cutting near the river, a joint inspection by central and state agencies, environmental compensation for restoration, and enforcement of JICA's strict safeguards. Above all, he reminded the nation that the Umngot is not a construction casualty. It's a living heritage. What lies ahead? Tourism cooperatives are now exploring eco-friendly models, promoting kayaking, guided eco-walks, and community-led waste management. Local elders remind their youth, the river gave us life, and we must give it a chance to live again. Plans are being discussed for community monitoring, spoil bank relocation, and reforestation drives along the banks. If done right, Umngot can recover, as rivers often do when people care. Every drop tells a story. The story of Umngot is not just about what was lost, but about what can still be saved. When people rise for their rivers, the rivers rise again. And if this story moved you, remember, stories have power only when shared. Let us keep telling them, of rivers, of forests, of communities, until awareness becomes action. Follow us for our next video. Will JICA, the pride of Nagaland, face the same fate? The government of Nagaland has proposed a Rs250 crore eco-tourism plan for JICA Valley under India's 50 World-Class Destinations initiative. But can development and purity truly coexist? That's what I want the grassroots lens to be. A bridge between the big picture and the grassroots, between national ambition and local action. Because every policy, whether it's about skill development, clean energy, or rural innovation, only comes alive when it touches real lives. Through stories like these, I hope we can see how ideas on paper become change on the ground, and how ordinary people in their quiet courage make extraordinary things happen. If you believe that real progress begins at the grassroots, then this is your space too. Subscribe to the Grassroots Lens channel and stay connected. Your support means a lot to create another video like this. Thanks for watching.